Hi, I'm Meliss, your free range psychic. Today is June 12th, 2022. And today my guides wanted me to do an update on Vladimir Putin. I'm using the Ciro Marchetti Gilded Tarot cards for our tarot reading, and then the Messenger Oracle cards by Ravyenne Phelan for our Oracle card. And of course there is the musical interlude at the end. If you need my information, it's in the description box below, or if you want to wait to the end of the musical interlude, it's there. Here is the card that it's representing Putin right now. This is the Emperor reversed. So my guides say this is Putin no longer in power, no longer in control, or really, if I rephrase that, a diminishing of his control and power. Obviously, he's still a pretty powerful person, but it is really so much less than it was before the invasion of Ukraine. So he's a weakened emperor. Above, this is Vladimir Putin as the King of Wands reversed, so that it seems everything he attempts to do as he asserts his will, it goes against him. It bounces back at him, sorry. And he can't seem to make anything work. It's not that he's become any less stubborn or any less narcissistic or any less tyrannical, but his efforts backlash. In the past, the Tower, this is the invasion of Ukraine. And interestingly enough, there's the same kind of dynamic happening in this card that's being represented, I think, even though it's in the past. Perhaps it's a harbinger of what's coming, but here's Putin waging war against another country, but who's falling out of that tower? He is. So in his attempt to bring down another nation, he's bringing down his own with this act of war. Below this, I thought these cards meant something else when I checked with my guides. What I thought was this is Putin still narcissistic, still trying to sow division amongst the countries, but they actually brought my attention to the oligarchs and what he is, the dynamic between Putin and the oligarchs. And so then they reminded me about the assassination attempt. So there's a lot of talk now going around that there was actually an assassination attempt in April that obviously was unsuccessful. And then not so long after that, a couple of oligarchs were murdered and their families were murdered. And so the guides say that Putin, whether or not the oligarchs had been part of this plot, he thought they were part of the plot. That's why they were murdered. And it seems that's his solution. Like if there's somebody going against him, and he's outwardly said this, against any Russian that is protesting the war, they need to be purged, or anybody in his government needs to be purged. If they go against him, then his answer is death to them. Just like he talks about the denazification of Ukraine. If he says they're Nazis, then he's going to kill them. He's going to purge them. He's going to massacre, because that's his answer to anything, anybody. And they know it in his circle, believe you me. And that's part of the reason probably that he has not been given the correct information regarding Ukraine and what the actualities really were. He really thought he was in a far better situation. My guide showed me that right at the beginning, that he thought he was going to go into Ukraine, be in Kiev, within 48 hours and have toppled that government and then put in a puppet because of what he was told. Probably because also there are always in every government, I think, that vanguard of right-wing hawks that just think war is the answer. But at the same time, he can't tolerate being shown something he doesn't like. What a weakness. And that also, my guides showed me, was brought on because he has been on so much medication and he has a dependency on, kind of like Hitler had, on amphetamine and whatever. And for whatever reason, he wasn't able to see reality. He wasn't in touch with reality. But because he's so stubborn and he's so egotistical and narcissistic, he's never going to allow any side of weakness to anybody. And so he acted on false information and whatever delusional perception he was having at the time, possibly caused by medication or drugs. And I say amphetamine, but that's allegedly. That's just what my guides are showing me. Weakness, illness, whatever neurological issues he's having. But he's so fixated on this belief and this need to always be in control, always be powerful, and never see, no matter how much you're suffering or how much you are impaired, you're going to show the world a whole nother persona. You're going to try at least. In the future, my guides show me the Knight of Swords and death. So they say this is the cancer eating him up inside. He can't stop it. This is terminal, and then death being the result. And my guides say, and I'm not good on time and especially predicting death, but I did ask them, and they said that he wouldn't live to see another winter. But, we'll see about that. But they do confirm, and I have been seeing this for quite a long time, at least over a year, if not more. I think I might have spoken about it when I was being interviewed by Linda Grindle, and they kept on showing me this cancer, which they said was like bone cancer, something that was, I think they were trying to get me to see that it was internal, it was pervasive, and it was something that would eat him up from inside, and that eventually would end his life. He couldn't beat it. That's what I have been seeing for quite some time. The clarifying card, there are two. This is the Knight of Swords and the world. So this is Vladimir Putin against the world. This is his stance. He wants to take over the world. He's made an enemy of the world. Even people that were once his ally are no longer his ally. He's very few allies here. But he's still going to attack. He's still on the attack mode. The outcome card, this is the Ten of Wands. So my guides show me, for one, them leaving Ukraine, but also this is Russia bearing the burden of this ill-conceived, tragic, horrific war that has been waged against Ukraine, and the war crimes that have been committed, and the price on the economy, and the world's condemnation. This is what this war has wrought. And this is what the Russians are going to be left with when Putin dies or is forced out of power. It's a heavy, heavy burden. My guides do show me that Russia will become a democracy. That is going to be the transformation, possibly due to this war and Putin's folly. And not that they haven't wanted it for a long time, but the way that Putin has been so tyrannical, running this country and depriving it of prosperity and really literally being vampiric on its energy and its resources so that a few can prosper. But the Russians are evolving just like everybody else as humans on our evolutionary journey towards change, and they want to be a democracy. At least the young guard. The old guard are probably pretty well brainwashed, but the surge of youth who have been protesting this war, now probably thrown in jail or whatever, or conscripted to fight, they are not backing down. They are going to continue to fight, and at some point, probably bought on a lot sooner than would have been had this war not been waged. I believe we will see a democracy in Russia. Let's pray and hope. Okay, that is my reading on Putin. The oracle card that we have from us from the Messenger Oracle deck. This card is Time to Reflect. So I lost my place when I took the card out of the book. Time to reflect. Have you been rushing along, living from one moment to the next without thought or care? Have you failed to notice and acknowledge all that you have achieved and accomplished? Stop. Take a moment to pause and reflect upon all that has happened and all that is happening. See how you have grown. See all you have succeeded in accomplishing. Acknowledge and delight in your journey, and understand how it has played a part in creating the you who lives in the present. Time to reflect. I hope that you have found this reading interesting and enlightening, and also, what are your thoughts? Please share them in the comment section below. I will be back next week for another reading. Do you have enough popcorn for the January 6th committee? What a powerful, powerful opening to that last week, and now I believe that it starts again on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. That's all I can say. Okay, guys, take care. Love you all. I will be back next week. Bye-bye.